Chapter 34. A Letter to My Son. Hello, Volodya. I do not know where you are now, and so I decided to write you a letter through my book. I sometimes write you letters, but I have no idea where to send them. But something I publish in a book, I think you'll read that. A book makes its way into many countries. It's like a living thing. It can find various people all on its own, and perhaps it will find you too. In September of 2009, I set about creating my kin's domain according to your design. I don't know who will live on it. Maybe you'll want to, or Nastenka, when she gets older. There should come a time soon when the representatives of anti-rationality will not hinder people like you. Maybe my grandchildren will want to live here, or my great-grandchildren. The moment has come when I feel an urgent need to bring what you designed to life. I plowed my hectare with a tractor and sowed winter rye on it. I sowed the seed by hand myself, and my neighbors helped me. I used an excavator to make an earthen mound all along the perimeter, 1 meter high and 1.5 meters wide. I didn't have time to make the little clay walls this year. The rains and the cold weather set in. I'll start building them in the spring. But my hectare has been transformed even just from what I've done this year. It's the only one framed with an earthen mound, and the rye has grown up in place of the former weeds. It even seems to me that it's showing off a little bit before the neighboring hectares. I also managed to dig a pond this year about 30 meters in diameter, and it will fill with water in the spring. I also bought up various fruit tree saplings. For now, I've put them on the grounds of my country home. I'm planning to move them into the homestead next fall. During the winter, I'm going to have to decide how to make your fiery bird. I don't think molding it out of clay should pose any particular problems, but how do I fire it then, so that the rains don't wash it away? And besides, too, it's about 3 meters high. In addition, then you have the wingspan, which works out to be about 12 meters. And then the thought came to me that I need to mold it out of clay, and then saw it into sections and fire it at a factory. And after that, I can reassemble the fiery bird on my homestead on the back of the pond. I have shown your creation to my friends. I just drew them a clay capsule with a fire inside and explained how you warm and heal yourself inside of it. Or just sit outside in front of the fire with your friends, the way you'd do with an inside fireplace. And they decided they want to build something like that at their places too. Can you imagine how delighted they'll be when they find out it's not just a capsule you can warm your body and heal yourself in, but a beautiful bird too, with a burning heart inside? How in the world were you able to create such a miraculous thing? Anastasia surmises that the people of the first earthly civilization are helping you. If that's the case, then why shouldn't they help everyone who has set about building their kin's domains? However, on the other hand, since you have given your design to all the readers, then they really have helped everyone. Oh, and Volodya, your mama also said that your kin's domain design is a great and beautiful missive to mankind from some civilization that is unknown to contemporary people. Whether it's on a different planet or in a different dimension, that's not important. It's entered into communication with contemporary people, and in the language of matter, too. And the contemporary society of people stands on the threshold of great and beautiful transformations. When your mama said this, I didn't yet fully sense the significance of her words, but later on, when I was reflecting about them, I became convinced that she is totally correct. You know, Volodya, there's a lot of talk in society about UFOs, about visitors from other planets, and we have no small number of treatises of all possible kinds, supposedly written by great teachers, but what concrete results do we have from them? Nothing changes. People have been moving along their path, heading toward a sad end, and that's the path they keep on following. A picture even came to me. People are walking along a road, and there's someone dressed very oddly standing on the side of the road. And as if to underscore his strangeness, he's yelling, "I am a visitor from afar. I am a visitor from afar, a representative of great powers." "Well, so what?" the people say to him. "What will you bestow upon us? If you are a representative of great powers, then take away drug addiction from the earth, and prostitution, and wars. Take away the various illnesses, too. You don't understand. I'm a visitor from afar." But he couldn't pique people's interests. Only one person came up to him. "If you are some great visitor from afar, then you probably won't have any trouble giving me 100 rubles for a bottle of vodka." And he got this answer: "I am a great visitor from afar. You need to listen to me, give me shelter and food, and even make a fuss over me." That's more or less the backstory with all these great visitors from afar who have come to Earth. But things are totally different in the case of your design, Volodya. Without saying who he was, without asking for a thing, he simply offered, "Take a look, people, and if you like it, take it and be happy." And when you left, Volodya, Mama spent a long time looking over your homestead mock-up with great attention. She said it's extraordinary, lovely, and multifunctional, but that it's not a simple homestead. The details of its separate parts are closely interconnected, and all of them together are actually an interplanetary biological apparatus that is capable of moving a person along with his dwelling land to any planet, all in the space of one instant. This apparatus's ultra-strong biological membrane extends along the homestead's perimeter. The fiery bird is programmed to cleanse one of viruses. The internal arrangement and selection of plants suggest an eternal life support system for those living inside this apparatus. The object with the mirrored water is, pure and simple, a launch button that initiates the biological program. The propulsion device of this apparatus is unsurpassed in terms of its generating capacity. It goes beyond the boundaries of speculations like rate of movement, for what lies at its core is unmediated human thought. Anastasia also said that all technocratic inventions have a biological analog, or the other way around to be more precise, and this biological analog is more perfected. Now we, by using achievements in space exploration and in the sphere of computer technology as a launch point, can define the significance of those separate details of yours. I think that readers who happen to be programmers will comprehend more of what you have done. But here's what's bothering me, Volodya. The perimeter is a membrane. The fiery bird is a cleansing antiviral program. The mirror in the center with the torches is a launch button. I'll make all of this, and maybe somebody else will make it too, but there aren't any instructions for how everyone is supposed to use this. All devices always come with instructions, so people don't break the devices or hurt themselves. And here we've got significant biological technology without any instructions. A person might accidentally do something with the launch button, and his family will wake up on another planet without even intending to do so. They'll want to come back, but they'll have no idea how. I've bought an octagonal mirror and torches. Out at my country home, in the evening, I placed this mirror on the ground and lit the torches around it, and it turned out really beautiful. But I think it's not totally safe to do that in your garden in the autumn. But when the mirror poured out water, it felt like the trees were trying to come back to life. But deep in the autumn, they shouldn't come back to life. I'm really sorry that I didn't have the chance to talk a little more with you, Volodya, and ask you to clarify the intended purpose of this apparatus, what it's for, and how we're supposed to use it. Maybe the readers will be able to figure it out, or will come to me later on, once I get it in place on my hectare. Now, I probably won't be able to build the greenhouse around the perimeter of the homestead next year. I don't have the money to do everything all at once. We're hardly getting any royalties at all from America. Basically, I don't know what's going on over there. They're making some kind of changes to the books without my permission. The domain name Ringing Cedars in English belongs to somebody else. And can you imagine? They even have the domain name Vladimir Megre there, and a site with that name, and it's being passed off as my official site. But I have no connection to it whatsoever. Polina has tried to register the trademark in my name, and they asked her to pay $6,000. I wouldn't really care, but I feel bad for the readers. What are they being told on those sites? What products are being sold using those trademarks and logo? How can I sort it out? Where can I find the time to sort it out? But I decided that in my new book, I'll give the name of a website where people can communicate directly with Polina. And I will ask Polina to publish the new book in English, too. But so far, I don't know how to get it published in the English-speaking countries. And something else, Volodya, I have a problem. We have to come up with a comprehensible and concise appeal to those in power in various countries. The goal of the appeal is to encourage each one of them to take whatever forceful measures they can to perfect the dwelling land on earth. I have put together various versions of this message, but it always seems to me that I could do it in a simpler, shorter, and more convincing fashion. Here's the latest version. Maybe it will do? What do you think? An appeal. Dear sirs, I have written a series of books called The Ringing Cedars of Russia. Many of these books' readers, people of various ages, nationalities, religious faiths, and social statuses, are each acquiring 1 hectare of land for their families and are establishing kins domains, or family homesteads, on them. Among them number doctoral students and PhDs, as well as simple workers. 90% of these people have a college education and a profound life experience. Each family on its own and everyone as a group, they are creating a dwelling land for themselves, their children, and future generations that is more livable in all respects. In Russia and in the countries of the former Soviet Union, these people have already created more than 1,500 settlements made up of kins domains without any government support whatsoever. They include large settlements with up to 300 families and small ones formed by 10 to 15 families. I do not know how many people are taking similar steps, whether united in small groups or for the most part on their own, in other countries where my books in the Ringing Cedars of Russia series are being published. But they do exist, and their numbers are growing steadily. Dear sirs, people have talked a great deal in the world about the need to improve the ecological situation on the earth. In certain regions, the situation has already reached a critical stage, and a global disaster looms. For some time now, conferences and symposia have been held at the governmental level with many countries, the UN, and all possible NGOs. But dear sirs, where have we seen even the slightest result? The Earth's ecology continues to worsen. The only people taking real steps are the people who are founding their own family homesteads, people focused on improving man's dwelling land. Dear sirs, I am not asking you to discuss the merits or weaknesses of my books or me personally. I am asking you to examine the actual idea from the position of rational thought. If you are unable, by drawing on contemporary science, to propose anything more effective than this idea, I ask you to recognize its essence and accept it. I do not know to whom specifically I should address this appeal. I'd also like to touch on another serious question. I think about it often. I try to find a solution. The thing is, Volodya, that given your approach to life and the way you understand the meaning of existence, it will be difficult for you to find a bride, a girl who understands you. You probably already know that from the time they're little, many girls dream of becoming an actress or model, or marrying a wealthy man, and going to resorts, and having a maid at home. If you suddenly take to liking to that kind of girl, a girl who has not read the books and hasn't heard anything about kin's domains, after all, love is unpredictable. Now, don't go trying to tell her about the homestead right off the bat. She won't get it. Now, when I've made my homestead according to your design, then you go ahead and bring this girl there and show her this homestead. When you're approaching it, you tell your girl that it's yours, and go inside the homestead with her. Go through the door of the white hut. The key to the door will always be in the spot where grandmother used to leave it, and show her everything that's there. Anastasia has said that when a woman sees a more perfected dwelling land than the one that she has previously been in, the desire to bear a child immediately awakens within her, along with an attraction to the man who is connected with this land. Volodya, should you sense this kind of desire in your girl, then you can be certain that she will most certainly come to love you, and that her past, mindless inclinations will desert her. And Volodya, your little sister Nastenka often visits your mock-up and plays in it, building little flower beds inside it. Anastasia says she has fervent thought. Anastasia has told me about Nastenka's past life, the one when her name was Anasta. That's all for now. The letter has turned out kind of long, but I haven't said everything I wanted to say. Be careful. Take care of yourself, Volodya. With all greatest respect for you, your Papa.